Right from the start, we're diving into a tense hearing. Mandy Morgan versus the state of Michigan. What you're about to hear isn't a typical appeal. This is a desperate attempt to clear her name years after a violent confrontation with police. But will the judge see her side or the systems?
This is the people of the state of Michigan versus Mandy Morgan.
And this matter comes before the court today on Miss Morgan's request to set aside a conviction, two convictions of assault, resist, obstruct a police officer from 2019. So, as an initial matter, counsel, why don't you place your appearance on the record?
Bonnie Pravet on behalf of the people.
Very well. And ma'am, you're Miss Morgan. You're going to have to unmute Miss Morgan.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry.
All right. And Miss Morgan, I'm going to swear you in if you'd please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Ms. Morgan, did you receive the prosecutor's office's response to your motion?
Yes, I did. I didn't understand it though.
Okay. Well, I can tell you that I received that. And did you receive a copy of the letter from Police Department Detective Levi Guppy?
I think it was some man. It was some man who wrote a letter. He said he can't appear in court.
Yeah, he was a Grand Rapids police officer, and his the gist of his letter there was that, and I'm not certain if it was, it was in connection with this incident because he describes the resisting and obstructing as you trying to force your way into a vehicle against his orders at the time while you were intoxicated. And stemming out of that, then he states there were false allegations, including internal affairs complaints with the police department.
So this is crucial. The detective's letter carries major weight here. In cases like this, judges often rely heavily on written statements from officers, especially if prior investigations already cleared them, but the tone already hints at bias. It's one-sided, and Mandy hasn't even had her say yet.
And the jail alleging discourtesy, excessive force, sexual discrimination, and racial discrimination, and also with the Department of Civil Rights against the city of Grand Rapids. Him, Detective Guppy, and the county sheriff's office, and that ultimately all those investigations concluded by 2022 with the finding of that they weren't supported or that they were false in the case of the internal affairs complaints. So he is requesting that I deny the request to set aside the conviction based on one of the standards to set aside conviction is that the amount of time has passed since the conviction, and second, that your conduct during the time since the conviction has been good enough to merit setting aside the conviction. Why shouldn't I do what the detective wants me to do in this case and deny your request at this time?
Well, I was abused.
This is where the emotion breaks. Through the legal talk, Mandy isn't just arguing a conviction, she's recounting what she says was a brutal beating. You can almost feel her frustration. When she says they almost killed me that night, do you think trauma like this ever truly gets heard in court? Let me know in the comments.
That whole night, I had brought out body cams with that lawyer that I had. He's not saying any of that, Judge. He's not saying anything about how he punched me into my head multiple times. The only reason why I went to go into the truck with the key is to turn my alarm off. And I was in handcuffs already. I got slammed to the ground. I got almost beaten to death outside and in the jail.
All right. Well, I was there. Obviously, I didn't see what happened. What lawyer represented you in the matter?
I don't remember her name, but I know she was tall and she had red hair.
Okay. Was she your
It
criminal
was a long
lawyer?
time ago, so I
It
really,
might have been Laura Joyce, I suppose.
yes,
She's with the
yes, I think
defendant's
that's
office and fits your
yes.
description. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, the bottom line, though, is that even after reviewing the cameras and, the information during the investigation, none of those agencies found a reason to, sustain your complaint or even write a letter of reprimand, much less take any disciplinary action. Um, it sounds to me like that the allegations, weren't supported adequately by the video and things like that, or I would have expected some sort of um, outcome to come out of those investigations. So, I guess uh,
They
I've
didn't
got,
even give me a chance to, even voice.
Notice how she connects her mental state to the assault. This isn't just about clearing a record, it's about reclaiming safety. For many defendants, post-traumatic fear of law enforcement can linger for years, but in legal terms, emotional damage rarely outweighs conduct since conviction. The key metric the judge is focused on.
My opinion on how that happened. Even my auntie was the one who called the police and lied. How am I driving with my daughter when my car was parked in my auntie's yard and my dad had my keys? See, nobody was there, to actually see really what happened.
yeah, the
My whole
whole
family seen it, and I feel like how they almost killed me that night. I feel that I should have a chance of freedom of all the good. I mean, I've been good for how many years? I haven't even been a felon. My background isn't even bad. I'm not that type of person.
Why don't you
But for
describe to me some of the other things you've been up to since that time?
I
Uh,
got me a job. I work at Cisco at sanitation.
okay.
I
How long you been
I
working there?
DoorDash. I have a 14-year-old daughter,
How long you been working at Cisco?
almost a month now.
Okay.
It just hurts me because they almost killed me. And my mental state is really bad against, like, I'm scared to death of the police. How a man feels like they can punch me in my head that hard and so many times and expected me just to take it. And how they threw me in the holding cell and put their knees in my back, sir.
Yeah, well, and like I said, I of course wasn't there. I didn't see any of those things. I do see that, ultimately coming out of that, you did plead to the two. Uh,
They
with
made me plead to that too. And it also says attempt as a misdemeanor.
right.
They made
And there it is, denial. The judge isn't saying she's lying, but he's bound by legal standards, good conduct time past, and personal accountability without documented proof of misconduct. He can't override those investigations, but note his offer. She can reapply in 1 year. That's a small window of hope.
me
Both
plead to that.
attempted. Yeah, yeah,
They
both
made me plead to
misdemeanors.
that because of what they did. They didn't want me to go further with what they did to me out there.
Well, I mean,
Body
when
cams was shown in the court and everything.
when I do take pleas, every week, and when you take one, you do have to say that you are guilty of what the charges are, and that no one's threatening you or making any side deals with you, as it were. And it sounds like then that um, you know.
In that court hearing, it was all types of side deals. The man wasn't even there during any court hearing. I just don't find this fair at all.
Well, I understand. However, part of the set aside process is, uh, the taking the responsibility for what happened in the past. And it sounds like, unfortunately, you're just not there yet. And, there may be,
Oh,
say, I don't understand the underlying, um,
well, is there any way that I could push this further of them beating me since they want to push everything away? Because if I can't do this now, then I'm going to push this through the courts of how they put their hands on me and almost kill me
yeah,
over a
well,
lie
with
that
regard
somebody
to that,
called on me.
Yeah, the only thing I can advise is certainly a lawyer could take up those complaints. You know, if they found there was enough of a case there, you could
Yes,
bring.
I am because I would really like and I would like to if anyone could send me his information to where I can give to a lawyer because this right here I feel that's not right that a police officer had a right to punch me as big as he is with handcuffs on me in the back of my head
All
so
right,
many
well,
times.
here's what I'll do is I'm gonna deny it today. However, I'll mark on the denial that you can reapply in a year. That'll give you some time to go through it with a lawyer. Um, Guy I used to work with, Steve Drew, handles complaints against police officers. He's at
Yes, I would really like to
Drew
push
Cooper and
through with that
Ending. If
because
you want someone to.
This moment right here, raw anger meets institutional restraint. Mandy feels unheard. And the judge can't legally validate her trauma without evidence. It's a heartbreaking clash of justice versus bureaucracy. The question now, will she really follow through with a civil suit? Or will the system bury this case for good?
Review the case, he'll at least review it. And I can't make any comment as to its merit, but you can certainly tell Steve that Judge Rossi recommended him, as an attorney to possibly review the case at least. So,
yeah, because I want to reopen that up or something because I feel that that's not right that that happened to me in front of my daughter.
yeah, no, and I
In
guess
front
what
of
I'm getting
everybody.
here,
My daughter had to see them abuse me and almost kill me outside, throw me in the police car, and then all of them did it to me in jail.
yeah.
If that, I wish that lawyer was here because she understood exactly and she seen what happened.
Well, and certainly if
And
Miss
that
Joyce is
man, he has no heart with God. That's
all
all
right.
I can say.
Well, Miss Joyce still works at the defender's office. I'd certainly be willing to either hear her testimony or review any letter or anything she would submit in support. But what I've got right now is two different, sides of the story saying the opposite thing. I've
I
got
feel
you
that
saying
you're
this was
believing
terrible, and
him. You're
yeah.
taking his side.
Well, all I
And
can,
that's okay. That's
yeah,
okay because like I said, God sees what happens and how people treats people.
I
And
agree, and
justice
all I can say
is
is,
not served
yeah,
with this.
yeah, and it seems like the paperwork, at least on
And for
from
you to
his
sit
perspective,
there and
cleared him.
discriminate towards me like I didn't learn knowing you wasn't there, I feel that ain't right either, sir. That's
Yep,
not
no,
right at all.
I understand
So
the,
yeah, I would like to push this further,
yep,
very
and you can
higher. And I,
also
matter of fact,
appeal,
I want to sue him
yep.
for abusing me and almost killing me.
Well, I'd like to say I'd recommend on the civil side, talk to Steve Drew. He can give you the parameters if it's a good case or not. That he
Oh,
would.
it's definitely going to be a good case because then body cams is going to get brought back in.
All right. Well,
So
like I
yeah,
say,
I appreciate that.
and then you can bring this to set it aside again in a year when maybe there's a little more clarity on
I
what.
don't see how it's clarity when you're not even trying to, you're listening to mainly what he did and say it's okay for a man to abuse a woman.
Well, I don't want to say that, but I would do say that, it looks like from his perspective, at least, all those internal investigations that they did in the Department of Civil Rights, I assume did not find
He the
any
one who stopped
cause.
all that. He did. So
Well, but those
yes.
are independent, they have some
But for you to sit
duties.
there and discriminate towards me, though, out of a
Well,
whole
I'm
seven
not trying
years
to
that I
be
never been a
discriminatory
felon,
yet.
I never assaulted nobody, I never did anything like that. So yeah, for you to say that to me, that's not right at all.
Yep,
So
I
yeah,
understand your
let's push
position,
this
but
further, and I'd rather end this.
yep, I'm just reading the file. So the request is
Exactly. That's
denied
all
at
you're
this
doing
time.
is reading a file. You're
No, and
not
that's
sitting
all I
here
can,
understanding as a man, feeling it's okay for them to punch me all in my head and throw me on the ground for a lie that my auntie said. That
all
was
right,
the whole thing was a lie. And I'm going to push that too because it's not right to make false lies to the police.
all right.
That's
Well.
against the law.